All right, welcome back to Lamb's Cryptoverse, everyone. Today we've got Waleed back from his trip. I wasn't sure exactly what you did, but I know it was very important. But now we have a lot to talk about. So last week I was alone and it was boring and lonely without you. So I'm glad you're back. So we got a lot to talk about. Remember, this is NFA, not financial advice. So the vibe check, I don't know the word, if you know the word vibe, that's a word everyone's using. What's her name? From Kyla McKellen. There's someone, her last name is McKellen, I think. She's got a book about vibe, and it talks about how the economy is affected by sentiment. So I'm going to do the vibe check for today. Not yesterday, but today. Yesterday was bad. Today, 2 days ago was bad, but today it's better because the macro stuff looks better. So first of all, how are you doing today?
Much better, much better. I mean, it's pretty hot in UAE these days, but apart from that, everything's pretty nice.
Oh, I didn't know it was hot. Okay. Yeah, and my
It's always
parents
hot
live
here.
in New York and it's 100 degrees there. Fahrenheit. You use
Actually,
Celsius.
yeah, we
Celsius
use Celsius. I think it's about, at
20?
the moment,
I can't
quick
remember.
check, it's like 35 degrees.
Wow, that sounds hot. Celsius.
Sounds, yeah,
That sounds
Celsius.
very hot. Wow.
Uh,
Yeah, here yeah, I'm in the Bay Area. Thank God it's cool today. So speaking of cool, I got some good news to tell you. Let's get started. I'm sure I got so many things to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about Iran and Israel. So that war, they say you're not supposed to talk about politics, but I think when you talk about macro, you have to talk about politics. So I'll
yeah,
try and be as objective as possible. I wonder if I could share my screen. Let's see if I could put that on. I want to show you a map. Can you see my screen?
yeah, I see your screen.
Okay, good. I want to show you a map here. You see the map?
Yep.
So this is a map of the Middle East, and I see Abu Dhabi. That sounds familiar, and the UAE. And we got the Strait of Hormuz. So the only big risk now, well, I guess I should go back a bit. Supposedly there's a ceasefire, and Trump is he's begging for an end to this war. And the risk is that Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, which you can see where my pointer is here on the chart. So they're saying that so this is a big risk, but it's a low probability because China buys most of the oil from
Yeah,
Iran. So they
yep.
say not to worry too much about it. So since we have a lot to talk about, I'm not going to talk too much about that. So basically things look good on the macro front geopolitically, because of what I just talked about, and also because of other things. And we're going to talk about that. The second thing we're going to talk about is liquidity. Now, liquidity is looking good. And I want to show this chart here. This is M2 growth. M2 growth is nearing my tipping point when it's at 8% or above year-over-year growth, and that's the green here. That means that we can get asset prices growing. That means housing prices go up, stock prices go up, long duration stocks go up, meaning companies that don't make money, they do well. Waleed, have you heard of ARK Invest?
Ark Invest, yeah. You mean
Yeah,
Kathy Woods?
Kathy
Yeah.
Wood. Her mutual fund ETF just hit I think it's a 52-week high, the highest in years today. So when that goes up, that's a sign that liquidity is coming into the market. And of course, the reason we look at macro and liquidity is because we're talking about blockchain and crypto and Bitcoin. So this is all good news for crypto. But is it going to be an altcoin market? I don't know. I'm trying to find altcoins here. Altcoin. Well, actually, it's right here. It's in front of me. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart.
Other side, yeah.
Yeah, it's in front of me. And I thought this chart, so Bitcoin dominance is 64.4. It hit almost 65%. So when
Yep.
this goes down, that means we have alt season. So we do not have altcoin season now. So we don't know if there's enough liquidity to cause altcoin season, but we're very, very close, which leads me to my next point. And this is shadow QE. So shadow QE shadow or secret quantitative easing. And what the Federal Reserve and Treasury are working as of today, they're working on what's called the SLR, the Supplementary Leverage Ratio. And Jay Powell is testifying today at the federal, what is it? The federal, not open market committee, one of the financial committees. He testifies all the time. And he's testifying about how the market's going, economy is going. He's saying that the economy is strong. He's going to hold rates. He's not going to lower rates. But
Yeah.
in a question, he did say that they're working to change the SLR, the supplementary leverage ratio. So what does that mean? That means, and I'm going to stop sharing here so you can look at me, that when you change the supplementary leverage ratio, that allows banks to buy more treasuries and not get punished for owning those treasuries. So it's very complicated because it goes from one thing to the next. So we're going from the supplementary leverage ratio change to the banks owning more treasuries. And because they're owning more treasuries, that allows them to have more risk, to take more risk and do more loans and do actually more loans that are less risky. But besides all that, the whole change, the indirect change of allowing banks to so-called buy treasuries, is that it's a form of quantitative easing. So this is quantitative easing taking place at the banks, which is different from quantitative tightening that's going on at the Federal Reserve, right? Right now there's QT, and the Federal Reserve said that they would reduce the amount of QT. So we have one hand doing something and the other hand doing something else in the opposite direction, it seems. So again, the Federal Reserve is doing quantitative tightening, but it's doing less of it. But banks going to be doing quantitative easing. And the Treasury itself can also affect liquidity by changing their wallet, what's called a Treasury General Account. But we won't talk about that today. There's too much to talk about. So I want to see if I covered everything. So we talked about shadow QE. We talked about the supplementary leverage ratio, what's going on in the Middle East. But what we did not talk about is I see more evidence that we're going to get an altcoin season. I already talked about ARK Invest and Kathy Wood. Her stocks are doing well. And we talked about Bitcoin dominance is high, but it might be coming down. But now I'm seeing more evidence of potential liquidity in the market because we're seeing initial public offerings. And this is a good one to talk about, what I'm going to talk about now, because it connects the stock market with crypto. And that is Circle's IPO. Circle Internet Group went public and it's been going like this. And as you know, Circle is an issuer of USDC and it's doing really well. And the stablecoin bill also got passed by the Senate. And related to that, and this is going to be a segue to you, Waleed, I'm going to segue with the IPO doing well to say that the ICO market is coming back. Initial coin offering, and this is Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid is a purpose-driven chain. I believe it's for futures or derivatives. So maybe you could talk a little about Hyperliquid.
Sure. So Hyperliquid can be taken more, you could say, as an app chain, or as you say, a purpose-driven. It's more non-general, purpose-driven, has specific
purpose-built, I should have said.
Exactly. So it has specific elements that go around its ethos, its infrastructure. If you think the Ethereum, Solana, these guys are more general purpose blockchains, which is fine. You can build anything. You invite all kinds of applications, developers, those things, fine. Now the question comes, though, are we moving to a crypto space where we will have more not general but specific apps and chains? For example, you also have, if you take DeFi trading, all these things, you have Uniswap, which has also moved to its own uni chain. Then you have different L2s, and they're growing. It's a different story. Some people might not be fans of L2s, calling it centralized, can say it can be corrupted or the keys can be compromised, stuff like that. But let's say if we have that narrative going, like Ethereum wants to ultimately be the bigger settlement layer and have these L2s connect and validate transactions, though. So the bulk of it goes to Ethereum. Ethereum is like a global computer, validating these L2s, and you can have different institutions, banks, these guys having their own customized bespoke L2s. So if you look at Hyperliquid, that also seems like a more customized L1 specifically for perpetual trading, like trading specific, not like, okay, fine, I'm going to make a social app on it, though. That's not probably what they're focused on, though. Now, that being said, though, I'll probably share a bit of a chart or something, because you did bring up the thing. Let me just share my screen. Oh, host has disabled me from
I
sharing my
disabled
screen.
you? How
That's
could I
okay.
do that? I wonder if I could allow you to share. Let's see. Does that help?
Wait, I think that is you sharing your screen. Oh, no, it still says host disabled attendee screen sharing. Might be in your settings somewhere.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
I think instead of sharing your screen, then you can go through. Probably it would be in the more section settings. I think would be there.
Oh, okay, let's see.
I'm guessing that's where
more. Oh, that's good. Let's see. Not. Yeah, let's try this one. No, that's not it. I don't know. Sorry about that. I'm gonna keep, as you're talking, I'm gonna keep looking for it. This way we don't waste time. Oh, here, I think I just found it. Try it now.
Oh, it worked.
Wow. Who knew?
That's great. Okay, so I think in your agenda, the next section could have been or would be Solana. Those I'm going to just jump a few steps just to get Solana and Hyperliquid is called just overall see the crypto space, though. So if you can see my screen, right? I'm guessing it's guys. Can you see my screen?
No, let me. I lost the.
It does say app is sharing your screen, so you might try again. Or
What did it say?
Oh, on my side, it say that my screen. Okay, can you see my screen now?
No, I don't see anything for some reason. I have, or maybe I have to click on Zoom.
Because from my side, it's saying that you're sharing screen, so it's working from my side.
Okay, let me see.
Wait, let me try again. Chrome tab. Window.
Oh, I see. I had something clicked, so I couldn't see you. So now can you share the screen again? Because I don't see it.
Can you see now? Oh, wait, it says your dominant screen.
Okay, try it again now. I just clicked on something.
Sorry, guys, for watching this video.
Sorry to the one guy named Stanley that's watching this. Sorry about that.
Wait, I think I have to cancel your screen so I can share my screen. We're going back and show it.
Should I hit stop share?
Yeah, there it goes. So hopefully, come on. Nothing's working now.
And everything's clicked here. I just checked.
No, the button clicks. I mean, I can't even share my screen to show you what's happening at mine. I click on share screen and there's no response on. Wait, let me try. Okay, wait. In that case, let me share the link with you. You can probably maybe do your own screen share. I'll send you on LinkedIn. Sorry about that. If anyone from Zoom is watching this video, please fix your thing.
Oh, this is the one that says Blockworks?
Yeah, if you click on that, I'll just help you maybe get some parameters set so you can see exactly what I'm seeing at my end, though.
Okay.
And by the way, they have a very good platform, so shout out to Blockworks.
I've never used this. Wow. Blockworks is great.
I mean, they're not sponsored this video, but I swear you should start using this. And by the way, I'll show you more platforms. I'm really good with finding really interesting data platforms.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to hit share my screen.
Yes.
So do you see it now?
Perfect. So now if you change from daily to weekly, so we can get a bit more, condensed.
How's that?
Go here. Yep. And if you unselect all, just we can get our own on the right side. Yeah, there you go. If you unselect all and unselect all.
Unselect.
Yeah.
Then
So now just click on Hyperliquid,
yeah.
Pancake Swap,
Wow.
or the one next to it, under Hyperliquid. Oh no, wait, same
Pancake?
space. Yep. Yeah. And Pancake Swap as well. So Hyperliquid, Pancake Swap,
Yep, I
and
did it.
Pump.fun,
Okay.
the third one. So this kind of give you a bit of, so you have Hyperliquid is on L1, Pump.fun is the biggest, you could say, app on Solana, and then you have PancakeSwap, which is one of the biggest apps on BNB. If you see a bit of trend here, if you see from at Solana's peak in price, also its activity, and if you have the whole question like, hey, are meme coins dying? Is that narrative going down? Though here you can see like how Hyperliquid has kind of like eaten up that space. If you had to go to that perspective, like if you zoom in on the chart a bit more.
Well, I was going back, and you could see that the huge growth since 2021.
Yeah, Hyperliquid is new, so I think they won't have data all
They
the way
won't have
back.
history, yeah.
But if you see how much they have growth compared to meme coins, so I feel like there's a bit of shift of dynamics of people who are trading like specifically meme coins. Because if you think of people trying to have value extraction from these chains, because as you talked about MEV bots, these things, so there's a lot of, you could say, extraction these days, on different chains and different apps though. So Hyperliquid is a non-KYC perp DEX that you can leverage sorry, I don't want to say here, the F out,
That's your question. Is the point that the meme coins are on Pancake Swap, or where are the meme coins trading on Pump and
on the server, Pump.fun. So as you can see, they've kind of like been going decline in the application revenue for the Pump. So as people saying, are meme coins dying? This kind of will show you, like, again, if you want to compare like these three specific things, Hyperliquid, or you could say Perptex is going there because you might have these trading houses who might prefer using that. Again, it's more perspective. You can take it as you want, but this kind of gives you what is growing or where the smart money is going as far as application revenue goes. And by the way, they're really interesting charts. So you just have to maybe log in.
Yeah, I see I had to log in. I was looking. I don't know if you know this, by the way, and there's a good thing about doing this live. There's a lot of things that come up in my mind as we're speaking. Did you know that Coinbase, which is a centralized exchange, they're going to be connecting with DEXs like Hyperliquid? I don't know if you know that. That's going to be crazy. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I think I've heard of it, but something I also saw coming, because Coinbase is trying to hedge on the economy. So they are also, Base is their L2. So they do see a future where most things will be on-chain and tokenized. Because when I think of Coinbase being a centralized exchange, though, everything is in-house built. It's not as decentralized as you could take these other applications, though. So with their success of their base L2, which is the biggest, I think, L2 on Ethereum, though.
Yeah, it's the biggest.
It's pretty strong, though. So they have that connection between DEX and SEX, though. So that's pretty much, they are banking on this, space growing further in the coming years, though. So they're like rightly positioned. So that's why I kind of something. I also had a hypothesis that all these sexes would eventually have to do something on chain or jump. Because if you look at reserves on sexes, they're going down. People are moving towards more decentralized finance, applications, because those things are getting better, faster, cheaper, just easier to play with. Maybe the narrative back in 2017, 2018 was like, hey, come to a central exchange, though. DeFi is confusing. How are you going to sign up? How are you going to learn your seed phrase? You can't go cross-chain. All those things are slowly being fixed on the crypto side. It's much easier to you can quickly jump trade. So that whole narrative of, hey, come here, because someone who's very much new to crypto will find DeFi very confusing. You have abstraction wallets, you have cross-chain dexes, you have bridges. So that whole thing of making the user experience better over the years is getting way more refined. So I feel like that whole selling point, like, hey, come to us first, because these other solutions are not really good. That shift is getting stronger. I think we're on coin.
I don't know if you could see what I wanted.
I can say.
Yeah, I wanted to follow up with what you talked about with Coinbase. I don't know if you could see it in this presentation. Oh, this is not. These are not slides. Oh, wait, there are. So what I wanted to show you is besides what you said. Oh, it's not showing up here. I'm going to show you another one. Besides what you said, there's a whole change from centralized exchanges to
To
wallets.
decentralize. Yeah.
And what I want to show you here, hopefully I could find it here under segments. Well, I'm just
Yeah, I
going to
mean they
show
do
this
a
one
wallet
for
though.
now.
They have the Coinbase wallet though. I think it's a very popular app as well.
Yeah, so they're trying to have, they're worried about losing money. So if you look here, you see, can you see this clearly? Transaction revenue, consumer 1.1 billion versus 935. You can see that?
Yeah.
So they're worried about losing the fees. They charge a lot of money to trade. So they're worried about losing money. So they're trying to keep their customers. And then they're going to charge them for doing other things. I don't know if you saw on the news, Coinbase is going to be giving Bitcoin backed loans at only 5%. So credit cards 22%, or whatever it is, 20%. But you can borrow money from Coinbase for only 5%. So they're trying to reduce the risk of that $1 billion right here. That $1 billion is going to go down dramatically if they lose all their revenue to dexes, right? So that's the risk. So we're running out of time. Maybe we should have another video on Solana. So
I'm always up for Solana, you know me. And
I
today
know.
actually had some bear points though, but my screen share is not working. So I guess the universe is stopping me from being
Well, we
bearish
could
on
try
Solana
it.
today.
We're gonna try it another time. But I'm gonna
Sure.
let me just finish I forgot to say one important thing on the Bitcoin and Solana news. So I'm gonna add in Solana for you. The big news now this week is Treasuries. There are a
Yeah.
lot new. Even though we have a lot of Treasuries already, and I'm going to show a chart here. These are Treasuries, right? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Bitcoin Treasury companies. MicroStrategy, Mara. MicroStrategy keeps buying Bitcoin like crazy. Besides all this, now we have Treasuries outside of Bitcoin. We have something called, have you heard of, is SharpLink Gaming?
Yeah, I think it's they bought some Ethereum
Yes, they
for the
just bought
treasury.
more Ethereum yesterday. So they bought $420 million worth of Ethereum. Now they bought more Ethereum, and it's run by Joe Lubin, who used to be a co-founder of Ethereum. And then you've got the big Solana treasury. So you know what? Let me give you guys a taste of Solana. So I'm going to show you one slide on Solana. Oh, I don't have it here. The Solana. Oh, I know where it is. I've got so much stuff open that I'm getting all mixed up. I have something here on my agenda. So I'm showing everyone my agenda. And you could see what the Solana treasury here, I believe. Let's see if it's here in my agenda. Oh, here it is right here. You see this? This from Bloomberg. All the new Solana treasury firms.
I can't see anything on your screen.
Oh, you don't see it?
No, I just see the Bitcoin treasuries page.
Oh, really? Oh, it's not showing me. Okay. So it's not showing. Thanks for telling me. It's not showing me my Word document. I guess that's considered secret. Okay. So let's forget about that. I'll show it next time. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to put it on the internet so everyone could see it. So we're running out of. Yeah, go ahead. We have 60 seconds.
I have a question, I guess, more for people who are watching this. Like you said, the one person, Stan or Stanley, he's watching
Stanley.
though.
Hi,
Stanley,
Stan.
okay. Hi, Stan. Is I think you also have this question of people find it's amazing for companies, governments, entities, pension funds, these guys to stockpile Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. Though. But unlike Bitcoin, though Solana, Ethereum, you can actually stake those, have access to the network revenue and stuff like that. So these tokens, these entities are better off being staked than just being locked away and doing nothing.
Yep.
So will these treasuries also? I think with the Ethereum ETFs, there are like talks back and forth to enable staking. I was hoping it would be done by June. I'm not up to date. I think there's still some hiccups here and there though, but that thing should be a thing for ETFs. Also for treasuries, if someone's holding that, they should be putting that into thing because both Solana and Ethereum, they don't have a hard cap. They do have their inflation. Fine, we do have the deflation effect on Ethereum though, but if you closely look at it, it does kind of go back and forth. So just holding it will not erode its value, but you're better off like putting it to use because that does kind of protect the network from 51% attack to being utilized properly. Bitcoin, that's different. You have to like lock anyway. It's better off being maybe stored or something. Maybe you can make products like you said. You can probably use Bitcoin-backed products, loans. That kind of makes more sense in the financial realm, though. Ethereum, Solana, they need to be better utilized, staked to
Running
so
out
the
of
network.
time.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm saying like that. I guess the question was, will we see treasuries also staking, and then will that make the staking space grow up, like people having their own more nodes, more validators? Like this can also be like, it's just a whole nutshell of a business, though. But yeah, I think that's too long of a topic, though. Hopefully,
Yeah.
something
One thing I've
is clear.
seen, I'm not sure, folks, if I cut you off. I'm not, it still says we're recording, so it might be cut off, but I want to say one last thing, and then we're going to talk about, do another video on Solana. Institutions love yield, and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
follow this every day, and the SEC said or implied there will be staking, and especially with the ETF proposals, they implied that there will be staking, because in the proposals it says staking, but then after they said that, they backtracked, and the day later they said no. So just to be clear, there is no staking right now as we speak. We're speaking on June 24th. There is no staking. So let's stop this recording for now, because it's been pretty long, and if Solana's going to take too long, I think we should just do a separate video.
Especially
And
with me on the call, it's going to take too long.
yeah, well, yours
It's
going
so
to take 3 hours.
yeah.
So I think it stopped already. So I'm going to stop the recording, and then we're going to start it again in a minute. Thanks.